Hey folks, welcome to Torrential Beerhulks video. I'm Izaklee, and today we're doing Dominaria. It's the first day that you can do Dominaria. It's Friday, April 20th. Happy Green to anybody out there who celebrates that. Um, yeah, we're gonna join this league, and it only costs 24 event tickets, so I'm gonna pay that. And here we go. So the way I'm gonna try and break down these videos is this is gonna be video one. We're just gonna build our pool, see what we get. Damn, Teferi, cool. Okay. Um, yeah. So we'll see what we get in our pool here. We're gonna mess around, build a deck or try and build a deck, and then it's a full-on sealed event. So there are like 9 matches to play, and I'm not sure that I want to record all of them. But we'll see. I'll certainly record the first 3, like the first stage they call it. And we'll put that up. And I don't know about the middle one, but maybe the ending. If I'm doing really well, then maybe I'll swing into recordings for the ending. If I don't record anything past the first stage, I'll do a little wrap-up video just kind of explaining what I did, and how I did, and how whatever deck I built here ended up working. So let's get into it. So Teferi is pretty exciting to open, I think. So let's just sort this by rarity. Yeah, so we got Teferi, a Helm of the Host. I'm excited about this card. I know it's slow, but I feel like if you can get there with it, like if you can build a dirtily deck that can allow you enough time to be able to use this properly, it could be pretty cool. I also like it for its possible implications in standard. I like the idea of putting this onto a Gideon Planeswalker, and making 2 Gideon's Planeswalkers, and then making 3 Gideon Planeswalkers. I think that'd be fun. So that's cool. We'll see if it comes in. I don't think it's a bomb or anything. Isolated Chapel is cool. Hits one of our colors for Teferi. We totally want to be playing Teferi here. So maybe we're splashing black. Maybe we got one of those. What's it called? Settle the score. Maybe we have one of those in here, so we can throw some counters on our Teferi. And exile a creature. So Karazov, the vampire dude. I think he's a bomb. That starts to get a little more color intensive if we do want to play Teferi. Who knows? Maybe we have a lot of fixing in here. We'll see. Primeval's Glorious Rebirth. Seems cool. Seems like an extreme investment that we probably won't play with. If we wanted to go the white-black legendaries route, I guess we could maybe consider it, but I don't know that it has a home anywhere. It's a lot of mana, and it's a lot of setup to get there to actually make this card good, I think. So yeah, maybe that one just sits on the bench. And then we got this Territorial Allosaurus, which is a pretty good creature. It's a 5/5 for 4, which is awesome. Then if you kick it, which turns it into, well, you can read the card. When you kick it, it gets to fight something, so that's cool. All right. Okay. I guess we're gonna start by trying to build a Teferi deck. So let's just sort this by color. Teferi, in you go. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look here. Starting with white, charge. I would play charge, so it's gonna go in there. Healing Grace, I don't think I would play. I think that's maybe a sideboard card, and I'm not sure exactly when and where you'd want that. But we're gonna hold off on it for now. Tragic Poet. Return an enchantment. I don't know if we have anything we really want to use. Adamant Will I like. Yeah, it's just a very serviceable combat trick. Okay, so that's 2/2 with upside. Get in there. I'm sure we'll have some legendaries. Gideon's Reproach is something we want to see. Uh, Knight of New Benelia. A 3/1. I don't know how good they're going to be in this set, but we're going to try it. Maybe. Got 2 of them. I don't think we really have any Knights Matters things. Okay, Sarah Discipline. This is a card that you want to play with um, enchantments, I think. Which is pretty cool because I just noticed we have this here. Which, I mean, that thing's already flying, but it does have first strike, so we throw that on there. It gets +1/+1 that turn, and then another +1/+1, so it's a 3/3 with flying, vigilance, lifelink, and first strike. That's pretty bomby. So think I think we play both of those dudes. Pegasus Corsair, that's a card I'm happy to see. I think, oh, and a Messy Unicorn. Yeah, I'm happy to see that too, so that can go in there. That's just fine. It's a 2/2 with upside lifelink. It's a Bishop Soldier with a not relevant creature type, but that's fine. Pegasus Corsair. Man, pronunciation of these card names is gonna kill me. Fine creature. I like what it does. It seems like we're trying to be a blue-white flyers deck here anyway, so that's great. Get in there. Sergeant at Arms, I think, is playable. If you kick it, it's pretty good. It can fill out a board state quite nicely, so that can come inside too. These 2 Call the Cavalries, of course, we're gonna play those. It's 4 power, 4 toughness with vigilance spread over 2 bodies. That's great. I'm happy to have 2 of them. So it looks like all of our white is pretty playable, which I like. White is kind of my safety blanket color. We've got a lot of 2-drops in there already. Sarah's Wings, definitely going to come in. I'm not afraid to play enchantments. I think that even if you get 1 swing out of an enchantment before it gets removed, if it's a powerful enough enchantment, it's worth its cost, I think. And on Sarah's Wings, it has the legendary synergy that a lot of cards are looking for. It gets a creature through with flying, so you can just bomb over their guys. Vigilance and lifelink, so if it doesn't get removed on the next turn, you still get to block with it. That's just, it's an insane enchantment. So if you know when to play enchantments, they're like pretty good. And I oftentimes don't even care if I'm going to get 2 for 1. It's just you have to pick when you're going to play them. So let's see what we got in blue. Opt, I'm not really worried about playing. Rescue, don't think it's a thing that we need. Relic Hunter, what does that do? Can't be blocked if you cast a historic spell this turn. We've only got the 2 historic spells so far. It's probably filler, and I don't think we're in need of another 2-drop at this point, so we'll pass on it. Merfolk Trickster, yes all day to Merfolk Trickster. We are looking like a very low to the ground deck right now. Academy Drake is great. It's good as a 2/2 flyer. It's good if you can kick it. It kind of feels, you're paying a lot of mana for just a 4/4 flyer, but it's still good in the sense that it's a relevant body late in the game if you're paying that kicker cost and you have the mana to do so. It feels bad paying that much mana for just a 4/4 though. Like you feel like you should be getting something more, but it's a good card and it's gonna come in. Curator's Ward. Oh, Oh, yeah, Curator's Ward. Okay. Uh, do I want to play those? I think I do. Enchant permanent. Enchanted permanent has hexproof. So here's a weird synergy. Um, say I have Sarah's wings on a creature. Theoretically, what I could do here is put Curator's Ward on Sarah's wings. And it's tricky because maybe my opponent thinks that I've enchanted the creature and it's hexproof, therefore I just get to swing in all the time and dodge the removal. Or they realize that it's on the thing and I get to swing in anyway, maybe. And eventually they get rid of my creature. Ansar's wings leaves the battlefield, and because it was a legendary, because it was a historic card, I draw 2 cards. I like that synergy. It's a little weird, it's a little janky, but it might be fun to try and pull off. So I'm gonna run 1 for now. We got 2 there. I'm just gonna run the 1, I think. I mean, I could also put 1 on Teferi. It's pretty good. I don't know. It's People are so down on enchantments, and I love them. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. Whatever. I don't care. It's day 1. We got lots of time to figure out what this set's all about. So, what else do we have here? Ooh, Tellurian Scholar. Not a card we're excited about. Unwind. Counter target non-creature spell. And tap up to 3 lands. Feels like a sideboard card. Wizard's Retort. Counter target spell. Need to have a wizard though. Ugh. We've got 1 wizard with our Trickster. No. Cloud Reader Sphinx? Yes. Yes. Ooh, Cold Water Snapper. Yeah, okay. Let's do it. And we got 2 of them. Get in. Get in. So the reason I like that is it's hexproof. Throw a Sarah's Wings on there. Wow, you've got a flying, 5/6 vigilant, hexproof lifelinker. It's a dream. It's a dream that we could live. We could live it. We could live that dream. Syncopate. Yes, I like Syncopate. Yeah, it's just it counters anything. Can be good late, can be good early. It's the type of thing that if you have it in your opening hand, it can be a trap. You want to use it as quickly as possible and just screw up your opponent's tempo. But yeah, I think it's gonna have a home here. So what are we looking at here? Well, we got 13 creatures and 10 other. It feels a little creature light. Uh, feels very creature light, and especially if we have a card like Charge. Kind of want to have more creatures in here. So let's see what else we have. I like Navigator's Compass. I feel like it's good. It helps you splash. It's not ramping. It's not ramping you. Um, but to gain 3 life, which can be relevant for 1 mana, I think that's fine. Um, but it helps you splash, and it costs 1. I'm okay with that. So that's a consideration if we're going to be um, splashing for something here. Which I think we're going to want to do. Got these sparring constructs. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just use up some of these janky artifacts. And then do we have really any legendary payoffs? Oh, you know what? We can. Oh, no, we kind of want to keep those in. We have 1. Sorry, I meant to say historic payoffs. This is a legendary payoff, but we want historic payoffs with the artifacts. I don't think we do here. I like Sparring Construct. I think it's just fine. Like it's a turn one play. That can get in a point or two of damage. You don't care. It's just a great chump blocker. Um, and you don't really care to lose it if you've got another creature on board. You can get blown out, say if you attack or block with it, and you have one other creature on board, and they just, in response to damage or whatever, they just remove that creature. So that kind of sucks. So that it can be a trap that way, but I think it's just fine. I think more often than not, it's just going to be um, a fine little dude to do some work for you and then pump up a guy later. Um, I think what we do is we bring in Navigator's Compass because I think we're gonna splash. We've got this Arved the Cursed, which doesn't give us a ton of payoff. This makes a creature legendary, so that synergizes with Arved. But I think he's just good enough with the Death Touch and Lifelink that we could play him. If we wanted to be really crazy, we could throw in this. Maybe that's not actually that crazy. Maybe we just do that. Throw this in. Hmm. I hit a lot of cards here that I'm really excited to be playing. Let's take a look. Do black really quick. Oh, those are great. That's playable. The Skin Witch, I think, is probably better than it looks. Because it can be relevant late game. Card advantage can be big. What is this? No, just a regular foil. Whisper is good, I think. This looks good if we got Teferi in our deck. Feral Abomination, we're probably not excited to play. That's weird. We also have this Isolated Chapel, which we shouldn't forget about. Because that can really help us out here. If we want to get into some black. Exile target. I'm not super big on Rona, Disciple of Gix. Just seems, I don't know, seems slow. And it's a 2/2, which seems very susceptible to removal. Yeah, I'm not sure. Do we want to play this Helm of the Host? It's pretty slow, but our deck looks pretty fast. I think we got to start getting rid of some of the stuff here. Could probably get rid of these Knights of New Benelia. I just don't think that they're going to have enough impact, and they're just meh. Okay, so probably bring in Arvad the Cursed. Ooh, this makes our deck a lot slower though. Probably pull out Charge. Oh, nice. Skittering Surveyor. That helps us fix. Get in there. So let's just take this out for now. So that's 23. That looks like a deck, hey? Kind of also want to play Slimefoot. Like we got real good cards here. Um, and we probably could play them. We've got 1, 2, 3 ways to fix. What do we take out for that? Yeah, we probably want to play this. It's a good mana sink. Okay, so get in. And then oh, I really want to play this Curator's Ward though. Maybe it's just not good enough. Maybe it's a sideboard thing. And I also want to play Helm of the Host. Hmm. Decisions. I mean, nah, it's probably slow. We have a lot of power in this deck, I feel. We've got some good enough early game. We should go like this. Alright, so these guys are technically creatures. There's that too, I guess, hey? We don't we're pretty removal light it looks like. So we've got one Gideon's Reproach. Yeah, we are. We're totally removal light. Huh. That's a consideration. Yeah, I forgot the fact that those are technically creatures. Hmm. I guess Teferi has some removal, but we kind of want to protect him. Hmm. I guess it's not technically removal, it's more tempo, but it's like some pretty harsh tempo. His minus ability is pretty gnarly. Maybe we're just good. Maybe we don't need the removal. If we wanted some more removal, we could bring these in, but that's pretty risky splash. I mean, we're not going to have that many sources of black, and it's it could just end up being a dead card in our hand more often than not. Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm actually pretty happy with this. We're doing a couple different things, but mostly our game plan is get some creatures out. These guys are a bit questionable, but we'll figure out if they're good or not pretty quickly, I think. Um, yeah, we're gonna get some creatures out. We got a lot of flying. Um, we got some enchantments, which is cool, and we have some pretty powerful cards like Slimefoot, the Cold Water Snappers. If we can get them, if we can get there with them, we'll be pretty good. And then, of course, Teferi. Hopefully, this can be the type of Planeswalker where if you drop them, you just win the game. Um, yeah, let's hope for that. Okay, so that's gonna be deck one. Oh, we should add some lands here, I guess. Wow, just all over the place. Okay, so we've got 8, 11 white, 5, 6, sorry, 12 white with the Arved, 6, correction, 13 white, 6, 7, 8 blue, 2 green, and 2 black. What do they recommend? 8, 5, 3, and 1. So that would give us 2 green sources, 3 green sources, I guess. 4 black sources. We probably don't need that many. 5 black sources even with our 1 land there. Actually, we should add that in before we see what they suggest for lands. See if that changes anything. No, kinda. I feel like do that. Sure. Okay. Curve looks fine. I certainly think it's a 17 land deck, not a 16 land deck, so that looks good. Oh, let's combine groups here. Gives a better indication. Yeah, curve still looks good. Cool. Let's save that. And then what should we name this? We'll just name this a thing. Literally, a thing. Okay, so just to, yeah, that's fine. Just to see what else we got going on, because we haven't looked at green at all. I think green black might be a thing. So let's go ahead with that. So Demonic Vigor is a card I would play. Fungal Infection is great. Yes. We're gonna play both Skin Witches, I think. Deathbloom Thallid, I guess technically depends on how much Sapperling synergy we have. Whisper is gonna be good. Ooh, a Saga. I think this one is good enough. You're getting a lot of stuff here for 5 mana. It comes out at a trickle, but I think it's good enough that we can try it out and see how it plays. And if it's bad, then we just take it out and move on. And everything will be okay. Oh yeah, this is the Cat Warrior. So mill myself and then gain 3 life. Some synergy with this. I guess it's fine. Yeah, sure, we can try it. Feral Abomination's not something we're super interested in. Kazarov is a bomb, and we would be happy to play him. Alright, so moving into green. Llanowar Elves I think is good. Ancient Animus is Pounce, but gives a legendary creature a +1/+1 counter if that's your target, which is good. It's good removal. Guy's Blessing. Shuffles 3 target cards from the graveyard into the library, draw a card. So just put stuff back into your library from your graveyard, and then you draw a card. And then you shuffle your library again. Weird. I don't know how to evaluate that. Llanowar Scout. It's a 2-drop. It's not great. It's ramping. If you have the lands in hand, it's fine. Pierce the Sky, I think, is a sideboard card. In sealed, however, I mean, it could be main deckable. Just because games are generally going to be slow. But for now, we're going to leave it out. Song of Freyles is a saga that I'm actually really excited about. Synergizes well with our Slimefoot if we can, if it's late in the game and we've managed to make a bunch of little critters. I think it just goes in. For each other creature you control that's a fungus or sapling. Oh, each other. Oh, it's a sapling lord. Yeah, he can come. He can come play. Interesting. Sure, I think that's a playable card. This is good. We're looking to get some saplings. Gaia's Protector. Alright, we like these big bomby kicker cards, so they're gonna certainly be playable. I don't know about Gaia's Protector. I think it's just kind of feels just meh. Feels very meh. And then of course we're gonna get Slimefoot in here. And then we're gonna splash blue for that and that, because you gotta, which means then that we need a Navigator's Compass, and we need our Skittering Surveyor. Alright, so let's see where that leaves us. So we need to make some cuts here. So I think right off, well, actually let's see here. Let's see where Alright, so how much removal do we have? Demonic Vigor, I think, can count. It's not a ton of removal. Ancient Animus kind of being our only real removal, aside from this card, the Eldest Reborn, which is slow removal and doesn't let us pick what's going to happen. So there's that. We also want to splash. I want to throw in one mountain for Kazarov. So we'll keep that in mind too. What do we cut here? Probably cut a Skin Witch. Man, that's 8 mana if you want to kick it. I kind of feel like if you're, well, 10 life is a lot. I was gonna say, I kind of feel like if you're in a position where you need to play this kicked to get the 10 life back, the body on board isn't, you're probably pretty far behind. And if you're not far behind, then you don't really care about the 10 life. But is 10 life, gaining 10 life, is that enough to, I think it'll just stay. Is that enough to stabilize you? I don't know. It's so situational. We don't really have any sapling payoffs, or do we? Yeah, we do. We've got this guy. This guy, the sapling lord. Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty cool. Slimefoot stays. Yeah, we need that. I think maybe Whisper can go. What would we want to get back from our graveyard? I guess Tatiova. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we got some bombs. We would kind of want to get back. Oh dear. We're running low. Okay, the flying cat I think we can get rid of. Not to be confused with that enchantment that is literally a flying cat. I mean the cat warrior here. We can get rid of that. Leaves us with 24. We want to make one more cut. This is not a land and should not be counted as a land. This is just a vehicle for fixing. So we can't really count that. Could we count this as a land? When you play it, it gets you a land. So it replaces itself with a land. Maybe? We got some big hitters here. We probably want 17 lands. Although we got some ramping. We also have these, which are probably pretty replaceable, but we also want to have something early game. But they also kind of want us to have 17 lands, so yeah, we should cut something. I want to cut Demonic Vigor, but we're so light on removal stuff. Well, I get this isn't a trick either; it's an enchantment. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'll cut Demonic Vigor. Because it's an enchantment, right? So it's not like we're removal light again, which is common in sealed pools, I think. So it's a fine card. It's just it's your 23rd card, and in this case we already have our 23 cards. So it's leaving now. We're not going to play it. I don't need to explain that anymore. You understand. You understand why we're cutting that card. And this is our deck, I think. So let's our second deck, I should say. And I'm honestly I'm not sure which deck I would rather play. They both seem awesome. So it might just be the case where I can kind of switch back and forth between these two, depending on the matchup. I feel like the other deck is probably a little bit faster than this one, but this one potentially has more power in it. But we'll have to see. Like three of our cards are the same in both decks, which is pretty cool. And they're kind of going to be good pieces. I think obviously Slimefoot has a better home here, but I think he'll be just fine in the other deck as well. If we can get him on the board, and if he isn't, I feel like we have enough stuff in those colors that we can easily side him out for something that would be more useful. But what are we trying to do here? Add lands. Let's see what they say. Oh, yeah, we're double splashing for Teferi. Shoot. Oh, I forgot about that. So how many ways to fix do we have? 1, 2. We really just want this to be our Navigator's Compass to be on board if we're going to try and play Teferi. Teferi's maybe going to be a bit of a dream in this deck. Completely forgot about that. I think it's still worth it though. I think we can come down 1 on the green. How many green do we have? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14. And black is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13 to 10. Yeah, that's fine. So come down 1 there. That's 14, 16. Shoot. What were they saying? Okay, yeah. So we'll come down there, go up 1. Just playing 5 color nonsense. Hmm. So that gives us 3 red if we need it, 3 blue if we need it, 3 white if we need it. I'm okay with this, I think. It's gonna make 2 of our creatures difficult to cast, possibly. But I think it's more important to have consistency with what is going on here. We don't have a lot of double costing cards, say for a couple bombs in green, but I think we won't have a problem getting there with that. And Kazarov, honestly, I think is going to be very hard to cast. So yeah, I think we just add that. And we're just adding the 1 mountain so that we can use his second ability there. Which is kind of a dream, but hey, sometimes that stuff comes together. It's gonna make it tricky though for when we get our Skittering Surveyor in our opening hand and we just have Swamps and Forests. It's like, okay, play Skittering Surveyor, but then which one of these colors do we go and look for? Oh, you know what? We're gonna take out one of these swamps and throw in this Isolated Chapel. Whew. Close call. That gives us two ways to find planes for Teferi. So that's a little bit better. That makes him less of a stretch. Still a stretch though. Don't get me wrong. Cool. I think that's a pretty cool deck. Curve looks good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one too. Man, it's gonna be tough to decide which one to play. So we'll go ahead and save that. I think I'm gonna start off with this deck and then switch out to the new deck. Yeah, it's tough to say which one's gonna be better. Anyway, there we go. That's building some sealed pools in Dominaria. Thank you guys very much for watching. We will catch you in match 1.